We are heading into Epcot. Yay! Epcot! We took a much needed rest, a brief nap, got showered and cleaned up, hopped in the car, and now we're on our way into Epcot. And you can see that giant building over there. That's the building for the new roller coaster that they're putting in for Guardians of the Galaxy. It's a giant indoor roller coaster because in Florida it rains enough that outdoor roller coasters close fairly often. This one is meant not to. Anyway, it's gigantic. It's hard to tell probably from this video, but it's really, really big. And they're a lot further along than I thought they would be. Last time it was just all girders. I've mentioned on previous vlogs that Epcot does a number of festivals throughout the year, and I mentioned 3 of them. Well, there's also a 4th, which is the Festival of the Holidays. Used to be called Holidays Around the World. Now it's Festival of the Holidays. Like all of their other festivals, it comes with food booths. And in this case, it has some retellings of Santa Claus or other holiday stories from the different countries. We're looking forward to seeing some of those. Wow, walking into World Showcase, they have this gorgeous giant Christmas tree. That is amazing and beautiful. This thing is huge. It's very pretty.
Huh?
And everybody living with the land. I think we have some merchandise that they have available. This lights up. Ears. Festival of Holidays with Chip and Dale. It's nice. Dale's supposed to have a red nose. Interesting. Goofy. Oh, that's fancy. You can do a cookie stroll when you're here, where you go through and get like 5 or 6 different cookies, and then you can buy a cookie jar if you want to.
Thank you.
We got the turkey poutine, which is sweet potato fries. Oh, and we're in the Canada Pavilion, or at least near it. The sweet potato fries, some turkey. Oh, there is turkey on there. Turkey gravy, some cranberry sauce, and crispy onions. We're gonna give it a go and see what we think. The poutine was pretty good. I think Josh liked it better than I did, but I'm also not as big of a fan of sweet potato fries as he is, which is what these had. In any case, I don't think you would regret having them, but they weren't my favorite thing so far. Epcot at night is wonderful because it's lots of mood lighting. Here is the Great Britain Pavilion, and it's a little meandering street with some lights, some shops. Across the way there's the pub, Rose and Crown. There's a fish and chip shop over there. It's just very homey feeling. I like the intimacy of Epcot. It's such a more of a go slow sort of place than the rest of Walt Disney World, where there's a lot of rides and excitement. Also in the Great Britain Pavilion, just some decoration. Poinsettias. See a lot of the rest of the pavilions across the way. The most prominent one is America over there. Morocco's over here. I love teapots. I'm glad I don't collect them because I'd have a house full of teapots, but I love teapots. The rain has let up, although we feel a stray drop here and there. We went from Great Britain and now we are heading into France. So let's see what France has in store for us. I think there's something in one of the booths that we want here. We don't remember what it was, but we're gonna go look. So France has, well, the Eiffel Tower up there in the back, but a number of shops and such back there. There's also a patisserie and La Glage, so there's an ice cream shop back there where they will actually take like a bread and put the ice cream in it and warm it up. I haven't had it, but I hear it's really, really good. Someday I'm gonna try it. The Chef de France is right here. We ate here on our honeymoon when we came. It was pretty good. They had great French onion soup, which I assume they just call onion soup. And just like in England, it's just nice mood lighting. It's subdued. It's got sort of pink light of France. And we move through here. We didn't see anything on the menu that we wanted, so I guess maybe we were misthinking, or it's someplace in between. We're heading towards Morocco now. We went to L'Chaim, which is between Morocco and France, and this is the pastrami on rye with house-made pickles. I took a bite of the pickle already, you can see. And it's pretty good. I am going to try the rest, or Josh and I are, and I'll let you know what we think. The pastrami on rye showed up on a lot of best of lists for the Festival of the Holidays, and I can see why. That was delicious. I just recently discovered that I actually like Reuben sandwiches. I didn't grow up having them. I didn't like sauerkraut. I was a very picky eater when I was growing up, and I've tried a lot more things, and recently I've discovered how much I like Reubens, and that's a lot like a Reuben without the sauerkraut on it, and oh my gosh, it was incredible. And the house-made pickle was really, really good too. If you come here, I highly suggest that. Here we are walking into Morocco. There's the Spice Road table over there, which is, I understand is pretty good, but it's a little out of our price range for what we're gonna pay. The Tangerine Cafe, which is a counter service. We enjoy eating there, getting the shawarma. What I like about Morocco, or fun fact about Morocco, is that the King of Morocco lent out the royal architect to help design this pavilion. So what you see here was designed by the royal architect of Morocco, the king's personal architect. You can walk back in all the areas here. There's a bunch of different shops and such, things that you might find at a bazaar. They also have a higher end restaurant towards the back. We've never been to that one either. It's more than we want to pay. But it's that traditional sort of Moroccan restaurant. Eat with your hands, and there's belly dancers. I understand it's a lot of fun. This is also where, not surprisingly, Jasmine, and sometimes, I don't know if you can see that very well, it says Jasmine, and sometimes Aladdin can be found in this pavilion for meet and greets. But I like walking through here to see all of the different little stores. And of course they sell different things than you see in all of the other Disney stores. Traditional merchandise. I love lanterns. Those are cool. Earrings. Bracelets. Me. Incense. I think that's incense, yeah. Ooh, boxes. This would be good for dice for D&D.
You gonna get a tab?
More lantern and dishes. Egg holders. All these handmade in Morocco.
Oh, to open the box, I don't know.
Orange blossom water. I went to a Moroccan restaurant once and they would They would douse you with, not douse, but put water on you using one of these vessels, and they had orange blossom, and I think there's rose. Yeah, I remember the rose water. It's very traditional. Ooh, a tangine. It's a little cooking pot. Incense burner. Oh, that's nice. We always have smelly good stuff in our house. Usually it's candles, but occasionally incense, and they have a whole bunch of different kinds of incense over here. I like these incense burners that look like genie lamps. I think you use these kinds of small ones, and you have the traditional longer ones there. Speaking of meeting Jasmine, we were just wandering about, and sure enough, there she was. So, and the line wasn't very long, so we went in there and said hi. I'll put that picture here. During this time of year, they have what they call the candlelight processional, where a famous actor or actress reads the story of the birth of Jesus, and they have a big choir and a band going. It's just letting out now. I took a little bit of video of it, but there's better video online if you're interested in seeing it. We didn't stay because the line for it is always very long, but I love listening to bands and choirs and such. Having been a choir nerd when I was in high school, actually all my life, I really enjoy that kind of thing. It's worth taking a look.
Praising God and saying, glory to God in the highest, and on earth, peace, goodwill towards men.
Blair Underwood is leading the candlelight processional. This is the Italian pavilion, but I wanted to show you this shot there with Spaceship Earth and the Christmas tree over there, plus just the rest of World Showcase. It's beautiful at night, honestly, it really is. But this is Italy. There's a few restaurants here, sort of a higher end Italian restaurant. We've eaten, I don't know if you can see this very far in the back that says Pizzeria. We've eaten there, Via Napoli, a couple of times. The pizza's really good and was really good the next day too. Italy has a wine shop, not surprisingly. That's in there. Of course, they're known for that. They have merchandise across the way here. We haven't spent a lot of time in the Italy stores. They have a stage out here, sort of, this is a very piazza. They have a stage out here, and we've never seen this, but I've seen video of people throwing the flags. You might have seen that in movies or heard about it before. There's a replica of the Trevi fountain back there with Poseidon. And then there's that pizzeria I was talking about. And there's another restaurant over here, Tutto Italia, that's their more upscale restaurant. And there's a cart over here that serves drinks. Sometimes I'm a drinker on vacation, but sometimes Disney drinks are a little too expensive for me. but it's just as beautiful in here. And the lighting is so cozy. You feel like you're really in Italy. Not that I've been there to know what it feels like, but I have a feeling that it would sort of feel like this, right? One of the shops. Handmade Italian merchandise. Original Italia. Smells nice in here too. I think there's a perfumery somewhere. Oh, right next to me actually. Over there. I like that Masquerade Mickey there. Mickey and Minnie on a Vespa. Arrivederci. That's nice. Scarves, it looks like. Germany has a little miniature town, and they put a little Christmas tree out this time of year. It's for the model railroads that they run through here, although I don't think they're running right now because I don't see or hear any. And it's on 2 levels, so you have this level here, which is in the front. I'm actually behind it. Front's over there. I'm actually behind it. And then there's also this area back here that they've also put some twinkle lights up. And the trains will usually go, but nothing's going right now. It's still a beautiful miniature town, however. Here we are inside one of the shops in the Germany Pavilion. And they have, well, shot glasses, beer steins. A very large clock. It looks handmade. Salt and pepper shakers. Those steins up there are part of the Agent P Showcase, which is an interactive game that you can play around the world showcase. If you're doing the Germany part, these will start playing music and singing a song, and it's a clue as part of your spy journey. Remember when I was growing up, we had a cuckoo clock in the house. My dad was stationed in Germany for a while. I assume that's where they got it, although I don't think I ever asked. But I still remember the sound of that cuckoo clock. Snow White is a German fairy tale. So there is a lot of Snow White merchandise here. And she does a meet and greet also. And of course there are merchandise for the dwarves, although it looks specifically about Grumpy. I really like that poison apple mug though.
Happy.
Oh, and Happy too, look at that. That is unusual.
Yeah.
For a long time, if you were sort of a Disney grump and just came because your family went, you could get Grumpy stuff because that fit the personality. But then Stitch came along, and now Stitch also has that, takes that spot where people can buy that merchandise and still be grouchy about Disney. Oh, there's Sneezy and Doc too. That's really unusual. This is the inside the German Pavilion. That's the shop that we were just in over there. And they have a sort of castle in the background, the facade of a castle. There's a wine cellar over there. Stein House over there. There's a Christmas store over here. And around the corner, you can't see where we are now, but around the corner is a Werther's shop, you know, like the Werther's originals. They make a caramel couche, which is a sort of a Werther's popcorn. It's amazing, absolutely amazing. We always get some for the plane ride back. At the German booth, we had a cheese fondue that came with vegetables and sort of crusty bread. It was delicious, absolutely delicious. Josh had a cider flight that had a pomegranate cider, a black currant cider, and a Heffenweiser. I'm not really a beer or cider person, but he really enjoyed those.
Yeah.
And while we were doing that, you can sort of hear them in the background, we were watching this German band play. Here's a couple of their songs. They're a band from Germany. I can't pronounce their name. Here we are in China. I always like this pavilion a lot. It really feels like China over here. Again, I've never been there, but I have a feeling this is what it's like. They have a movie here called Reflections of China. It runs every, I don't know, 20, 30 minutes or so. It's nice to watch those ones. There's a certain few pavilions that actually have movies. This one, France, and Canada. And then there's also an American one that's a little bit more than just, hey, here's our country. It's a little history and such. But there's shops in here as well with Chinese merchandise. But otherwise, there's a nice garden and there's some pathways you can walk back there. See them in the light. Again, it's beautiful to walk around in. And then a couple of different Chinese restaurants. There's one that's a counter service right over there. And then they have the Nine Dragons, which is your traditional sit down. It's not that hard to get Chinese food, so we've never really eaten in any of these pavilions. I'd rather try foods that I don't usually have access to. Although, you know, living in Denver, I don't think there's anything I could get here that I couldn't get somewhere in Denver. In any case, pretty beautiful. And very nice. This is the Norway Pavilion. To my right is a restaurant called Ankerhus. It's an all-you-can-eat place, and they do a princess dining there, princess storybook dining. Back in the back is the Frozen Ever After ride. We have a fast pass for that later on our trip, so we'll be doing it then. And we always laugh at the fjording. What is the fjording? More little shops selling local merchandise. Towards the front, there's a replica of a stave church. You may not know that that's what it's called, but this is what it looks like. It's kind of hard to see, I guess, from this angle, but it goes up there. They also have a really good bakery called the Kringla Bakery. And they serve something called school bread, which is sort of this pastry that has a cream in it. It really is more like a bread. It's a peppery bread with cream in it. I know that doesn't sound necessarily good, but it is really good. Here's the bakery. They just redid it actually. This looks nice. It'd been closed for a while and they were selling their wares out of a cart across the way, but now they have reopened. Let's see if I can find the school bread for you to see. There it is down there. It's not even that expensive. Josh and I will usually split one. Here's some of the other pieces they have. I like that Viking moose cake. More school bread. Delicious. We are done with Epcot. We didn't ride any rides. We're gonna save that for when we come back in a couple days, actually 3 days. All we did was really walk around the World Showcase, have some food. Towards the end, it got late, so the booths were closed, so we have to hit China again and Mexico again to get the items that we want. A tamale in Mexico and barbecue pork in China, which you've heard good things about. Have a good night. Thanks for staying with me.